All right, so on these questions, so on this one right here, honestly, I would just use my calculator. So when there's decimals, just use your calculator and just literally just type this into your calculator, just like it says there. And I'm glad to help you with your calculator. If you're not sure, on most calculators, there's a subtraction button, which is like a bigger minus sign. And then there's a negative button, which is often like a minus in parentheses at the bottom of the calculator. Not always, but often like that. Make sure you're careful on that difference, right? So on this one, for example, we would go negative 0.32, add negative 8.32, like that. The negatives are usually they're in parentheses, but not always. Every calculator is a little bit different. But just type that into your calculator. You should get the answer. What is it? Negative 8.64. Now, if you want to know by hand, let me also show by hand. By hand, remember with positives and negatives, I encourage you to just think about money. Think about gains and losses. Both of these numbers are negative. So that's a loss, right? And this one's a loss. So if you lost, negative 0.32, you lost 32 cents, and then you lost $8.32. What would you do? You would actually add those up, wouldn't you? And it's a negative. It'd be a big old loss. And sure enough, that is the answer. See what your calculator is doing there? A loss and a loss is a big old loss, right? If you lost money and lost money, you'd add that up to be a big old loss. You actually add those. But your calculator will handle it straight. Let's do the next one. On the next one, you know what to do with that double negative, right? That double negative becomes positive. Two negatives head to head right next to each other like that become positive. And so then just type that into your calculator again. Oops. Just type it into the calculator. I'll show it by hand. It's basically 5.1 take away 5.7 take away 0.1, isn't it? The 5.7 is positive. The 0.1 is negative. So you just subtract them. It's going to be 5.6. So I just did it by hand, but you can do it on your calculator. 5.6. Now the last one, number 7 down here, definitely just do that on your calculator. Decimals are messy. I could show you by hand, but I hate to show off, so I'm not going to do it. I'm joking with you guys. It's just a pain, right? So let's just do it. I mean, it's terrible by hand, but now I feel like I have to. All right, so I'll do it, but I would not do it by hand if I wasn't teaching this course. I would just hit the buttons on my calculator. In fact, I'm going to hit the buttons on the calculator ahead of time, find out what the answer is so I don't mess up. Let's see, I'm getting 7.6. Yeah, so you would need to come in here and go, all right, 7. It's just tedious. You got to multiply both these. Sometimes 8. You go over here on the sides. It's just a pain by hand. 56, 642, 47, 476. So let me try that again. It's going to be, but the decimal goes back one place, 47.6. So 47.6, then you subtract. This will be 0, bring down the 8. This is going to be 5, put a 4, put a 1, 4. See what a pain is? 4.08. And then it's going to be, and the decimal goes straight up. I don't know if you remember all this. Now, null multiplied by 6. Boom, boom. You can do that over here on the side. 6 times 6.8. Change colors. It's 6 times 8 is 48. 36, add 4. 40, decimals back 1, 40.8. Or no. Oh, and it was times 0.6. So decimal actually goes back 2 places. 4.08, because it was a 0.6 and a 0.6.8. Decimal back 2. But I don't know if you remember all those rules. Don't worry about it. 4.08, that's perfect. There it is. 7.6. That's terrible, isn't it? Don't do that. Don't do it by hand. Just hit the buttons on your calculator. No use in doing all that by hand. There we go.